Okay, Andrew. So way back when, in the last episode of season 2, you dropped one last story time special, and it was about you going to Milwaukee
Yep.
for an NBA game.
Yep.
And we talked about how, amongst a lot of other things, how I was going to smash on Auntie Anne's if I ever stepped in an NBA arena with an Auntie Anne's, and of course, you watching a Bucks game.
Yeah.
But has everybody known that I actually did go to an NBA game one time.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. And well, it has a lot of motivation behind it. Let's say that.
Okay.
A lot of motivation, a lot of strife, a lot of, I won't say blood, sweat, and tears, because it wasn't really a blue collar thing, but
How about significance as a whole?
yes, it has historical significance
There you go.
behind it. I went 17 years in between going to a professional sports event. I had never been to a professional sports event, period, before the night of February 29th, 2020.
That's insane. I mean, I don't think that may be the longest streak of all time. If I'm being completely honest, no, I'm kidding. Maybe in the U.S. I mean, that's just crazy. I've never met anyone who has gone that long without going to a sports game, or never gone to a sports game in general. That's really unheard of almost.
Yeah, and obviously excluding high school and school, because that doesn't count.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
freaking
professional.
school.
Yeah.
It's freaking school, or even collegiate at that part.
Yeah.
Professional nor collegiate, because I know people go to collegiate games and they be bussing.
Yeah, sure.
Even though I'm about to go to college and I'm about to be bussing, but that's another story for another time. Dude, so my mama was just going to we were just going to this random trip in Miami for my mom had a friend who was like, I don't know, going on a cruise or something, and she wanted to see her or whatever. And I think I remember telling you about a baseball arcade machine when I went to Texas, and I absolutely tore up a baseball arcade game, and I had Astros fans around me, and I was making Dodgers Astros jokes, looking like a legend. So for after 3 years after going to that friend's wedding in Texas, 3 years later, we go and see her in a hotel in Florida. She went to Florida, and we went ahead and went with her. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, what's the point of me going? I mean, this is your friend, and I mean, what am I gonna do? We're gonna go to freaking Dave and Buster's, or we're gonna go to some freaking random game room that I can go anywhere in Illinois. And I was a bit disgruntled because it was like a waste of 3 days for the most part, and I was just like, but I mean, me personally, I'm not much of a vacation guy, and I was just like, this is boring. What am I gonna do all day? I don't have my video games. This food, it's not worth waiting for all day. What activities am I gonna like? This is boring. I'm not like a huge shopper, man. I'm not like let's go to the mall every single day. It's like, come on, dude. This is boring. And so, and Andrew, I'm telling you, look, I have a tradition of not absolutely doing nothing on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons. It's just in my nature. Yeah. Kind of like being a Detroit sports fan is in your blood. Doing nothing on Friday nights is in my blood. It's literally in my blood. It's just like I am knocked out every single Friday night to the point where I do absolutely nothing, and I don't want to do anything. I'm telling you, it's weird, but it's so. I don't know why. I've learned to take pride in it,
Yeah, I understand. It's like your cool down of the week. You go to school all week, and then that is your day where you can just not worry about anything. I understand.
Yeah, dude. It gets to a point, and this is really random, but it gets to a point where my door is open. When my door is open and it's visible and I'm visible, dude, I have some of the weirdest sleeping positions and I don't even know it. Like like my leg would be on top of another, and I would just be like my sister would say, I would be folded like an omelet on the bed. Like I would be twisted, turned. I would be looking like a human cyclone, and I'm just like, I remember my sister jokingly snapped a picture of me aired out in bed, and I'm just like, oh, that's what I look like when I sleep. So I'd be aired out on Friday nights.
Yeah, you got knocked out.
Yeah, I got that freaking Miguel Burchelt treatment. Except it wasn't to the point where people thought I was gonna die or anything, but that was a deadly punch. But yeah, so we're in Miami over a weekend. I think we got there Thursday, and then we spent the weekend there and got back Sunday. And I was just like, what the heck am I going to do? We went to this place called Fun Dimension, which is another skin of an arcadey place and stuff like that. Bit underwhelming, very underwhelming, I must say. But the main bright spot for me was the fact that it had an air hockey table and obviously the famous Orlando Magic hoop that I took a picture with.
Nice. Yeah, I've only been to Miami once, I believe, and I don't know, it's cool. I didn't go to an arcade, but I'm sure it was interesting.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm just looking at this as some regular old trip. And look, my sister is a huge look. Jotham is to sports as my sister is to art. She is all over the art game. Like, she is so into art, it's insane. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like Miami, there's like this whole city full of art, and we just driving around it. Me, I'm not much of an art person, so I was kind of bored. But I'm like, you know what? It's family, so I guess this cancels out a little bit. Yeah. But I was like, this is boring, dude. I have nothing to do.
Yeah. It's tough to go to art museums or art places because it is kind of boring. I understand.
Yeah, but that was what it was. So obviously it was Friday night. I was knocked out as usual. I wake up Saturday morning and then I went back to sleep. And then I wake up late Saturday morning. I go back to sleep. And then I wake up Saturday afternoon and I go back to sleep. I slept the entire Saturday out because I had nothing to do. What happened was, I think my mom went out with a friend, and it was just me and my sister in the hotel room all day, and we did absolutely nothing. Like, we did nothing. We were stuck in the hotel. I mean, it's a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old just in a hotel. You're not gonna be able to do much. There's not much leverage that those two kids have.
Yeah.
As for what they can do, we have no video games. We have. We didn't even turn on a television. That's how knocked out we were. No television, no music, barely any food, and I'm just like, I'm knocked out, dude, aired out. So by the time 6 o'clock comes, I'm just like, oh, we're finally gonna do something Saturday night, and this is another tradition. I usually get it turned on. It's like a switch. It's like a switch. I get just turn on all of my energy when that sun goes down on a Saturday night. It's werewolf like.
Yeah, a vampire.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, dude. It's like a switch. So I get dressed, take a shower, and we're gonna go out. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to downtown Miami. I'm like, okay, and we go to downtown Miami. I see all these huge buildings. I'm just like, holy freaking crap!
It's a cool place.
Like, I'm driving.
It's a cool place.
Yeah, like I'm driving through it. I'm just like, dang, these are some big boy buildings.
Yeah.
Holy crap! And then we drive by the University of Miami, the Hurricanes facilities and stuff, and I'm like, dang, this is a dope university. This is dope. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is dope. You're not gonna be recruiting me, but I respect you. So I'm just like, okay, we chilling. This is cool. And I'm wondering where the heck are we going though? And then my mom, she usually gives directions for me to read, and I'm like, what the heck? And So I grab the directions, and I'm annoyed because I hate reading directions. I'd rather just shut up and drive where I want to go. But yeah, dude. So I grabbed the directions, and the directions were from said hotel to American Airlines Arena, and I was like, oh wow, we're gonna go see the American Airlines Arena, and my mom was like, Jotham, why would we drive all the way to downtown Miami just to go look at a stadium? I said, we're gonna expletive that. We're gonna keep it PG-12, even though it's PG-13. But I'm just like, no freaking way. And in my mind, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I remember when this happened because you were kind of in school. You were like, I don't know, I'm going to Miami in February, late February. Who knows? Maybe I might have to catch Patrick Mahomes. Remember that? you were teasing the Super Bowl.
I was so heated because I'm like, we literally just missed the Super Bowl, and I'm seeing all these Super Bowl billboards around Miami still hanging up a month later, and I'm just like, you mean to tell me you oh my, I was heated, dude. I could have been at the site of the Super Bowl.
You could have.
I was literally sniffing Super Bowl.
You could have saw the GOAT play. You could have saw the GOAT play. I'm kidding.
Now, imagine if I went to Tampa Bay, dude.
That would have been crazy.
I would have been equally as heated.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. So she hits up the directions. I'm like, we're going to a Heat game? And I look at the schedule, and I see the Nets play the Heat. I was looking at it all trip long. I'm like, I wish I could go to this game, man, while I'm here, man. This and that. Little did I know, she behind my back brought tickets from a season ticket holder. And I'm just like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to deserve this? What's going on? Granted, we did get in the game a little late. It was the second quarter when we got in or whatever.
Yeah.
I was not too happy about that because I'm like, bro, come on. We literally just snoozed through the entire day. How were we an hour late for this game?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But it was what it was. The only thing that matters is that I caught the majority of it. And for whatever reason, my mom is such a Jimmy Butler fan. And
my stepdad is too. Big Heat fan.
I'm just like, I don't dislike him, but I'm like, why do you like him so much? That's my question. Why do you like him so much? That's my question. She loves his style of play. Okay.
I mean, he's kind of annoying to me, but it's alright.
I'm like, okay, that's okay. It's coming from a Bulls fan, but okay, Bulls fan. So we go into the parking lot, and I'm just like, I already hated it. I hated the process. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why does it take all this to get to an arena? I was so bad. I'm like, yo, this is such a long wait. I had to wait for the freaking parking spots to open up. Had to wait for the tickets to go through. Had to get verified and all this and that. Security had to ask me where I was going. I'm like, man, all this just to walk up into an arena. I mean, security. I mean, I understand that. It's like, it's 20,000 people.
Yeah.
So you don't want anything bad to happen. But, dude, I'm just like, this is incredibly tedious.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It is.
Whew.
It is a process, but it's all worth it when you get in.
Yeah, because when I did get in, and when we were walking, do you know what that area like outside the arena is called? Not like outside,
the concourse. The concourse.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the concession stands and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm walking in the concourse, and I'm just like, holy freaking crap! Holy crap! I'm looking
in an arena. I can finally see the inside of an arena.
Yeah, I was looking around like, what the heck is this place? And dude, when I walked into the arena, bro, I think I was the first of the three of us to walk in. Bro, I walked in and I just looked around like my brain was non-existent. Like all brain cells were shut down and just focused on the eyes, looking at what the heck I was seeing. I'm like, so this is how big an NBA arena is. I looked at the upper deck. I was like, holy smokes. Oh my goodness, dude. When I tell you my jaw was dropping, that jaw was dropping, dude. I couldn't believe, I didn't know NBA arenas looked so small. I mean, you almost forget that there's an upper deck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some are smaller. The multi-sport venues are usually a lot bigger than just NBA. Like you look at the Bucks, it's a lot smaller than the United Center or Little Caesars Arena because hockey stadiums are bigger than basketball. Larger space for the ice. It's really interesting. So, I mean, I guess where the Heat play, I guess that's a massive place. I mean, I heard it's really cool too.
Yeah, it looked really cool. Now, for whatever reason, there was a Michael Jordan jersey hanging in the rafters. It was completely random.
Yeah, yeah, that is odd because no, he's not retired around the league, but that's weird. Maybe some teams respected him that much.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I saw Dwayne Wade's jersey. I think they had Shaq's jersey up there too.
They
I don't
probably
know.
did. They probably did.
Probably did. Yeah, the American Airlines Arena is a full-time basketball venue. I'm just like, I'm looking around, and dude, I look at the seats. The colors were just mind blowing. The flow of the colors, the red, the orange, and the yellow. I'm just looking at it like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And dude, remember earlier when I was talking about I don't like the inconsistent uniforms. I don't like the drawing away from your color scheme. So I don't really have a problem with Miami's Vice jerseys, but I do not like it when teams have completely different uniforms compared to what their arena is colored like.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do change it up. Like the court gets changed based on the jerseys that they're wearing. That happens in Miami, I know, but it doesn't happen too much elsewhere.
Yeah, and I was just super annoyed because I'm like, I see all this blue, this light blue and purple around me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, I want to see the red and white and black and yellow. My gosh, dude, I was so annoyed, man. But I sat down, watched a good game, and I'm wearing a black hoodie, because I don't know if you've seen me in my black hoodie before, but I usually, when it's chilly but not cold, I will wear like this black sweater or hoodie.
Yeah.
And obviously the Brooklyn Nets were wearing their black jerseys, and I was sitting there thinking, I hope people don't look at me like I'm a Nets fan or something.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. You're wearing
Yeah.
You're wearing the black when everyone else is wearing the Heat colors. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, dude. And dude, I finally got the game day experience, and there was some good, there was some bad. The bad was there was this little kid. Every single time the Nets had possession of the ball, this little kid is the only person in the arena screaming, "Defense! Defense! Defense!" I'm just looking at the kid like, would you shut up?
You're gonna get those fans, I guarantee it. I've encountered numerous.
Yeah, I enjoy getting into the game. Look, bro, it's either none of us are gonna do the chant or all of us are gonna do the chant. There's no in between. Come on.
Yeah, that's funny. I've seen people like that. Not just little kids, but older folks as well.
Yeah, I was like, I did not know it was this annoying. I mean, and the kid was near me, like within feet.
It's like when you get on an airplane and there's like a baby crying in the background the entire time, or in like a movie theater.
Ugh, bruh. It was super annoying, and I'm just like, man, this kid must be a diehard Heat fan. Jeez, man. And obviously, the game was a really good one. it looked like the Heat were pulling away all game long and this and that, but the Nets came back, and I'm like, oh man, and I kind of wanted the Nets to win because I wanted to see a bunch of salty fans in person. I mean, it was going to be bittersweet, but I also wanted the Heat to win because I wanted the crowd to go berserk. I wanted to see like a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
I could have very well got one, but Spencer Dinwiddie airmailed the ball out of bounds, and that was history.
I remember that. I was on I believe Twitter, and there was a post that said Spencer Dinwiddie game winner exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. I clicked on the video, and it's him airballing. So they clickbaited the video. It was the funniest thing ever. They said, "Oh, game winner! Click on the video. It's the worst shot you've ever seen."
Yeah, dude. I looked at that and I was like, "That is the worst."
Anticlimactic too, I'm sure.
Yes, I was sitting there. Everybody was standing up. I'm like, "Oh, this is where we stand up." I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's stand up. Let's get lit then. Let's get lit then, Miami. Let's get lit, Miami." And then Spencer did. I mean, we got lit. They got lit when he turned it over because everybody's like, "Yeah, yeah," getting in his head, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" And then the defense chants chilled. They gave me chills. Now, I wasn't screaming to the top of my lungs because I'm neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm neutral. I'm not extremely supporting a team. I like both teams pretty decently, even though technically the Heat are supposed to be the Magic's biggest rival. But yeah, dude, I was just like, yo. And then the game was over, and I got to see Jimmy Butler doing a post-game interview, and I was like, wow. So that's how the interviews work. Mm-hmm. They walk over and literally pull you over and ask you questions, and then they just walk away like nothing happened. Mm-hmm. Look, bro, I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna be that blunt if I'm ever a sideline reporter, but I'm at least gonna try to have some fun with the winning player.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the PA announcer was more crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
The fans, there were a lot of fans that were pretty juiced. I know this was one dude that was dancing the whole game, and I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't know the Heat had one of these guys. And then, dude, during the breaks, I got to see what happens during the breaks. I didn't know what happened during the commercial breaks. They had these dancers and these performers. Dude, there was this group of old people that were dancing, and I was just like, are you freaking kidding me?
I've seen that in Chicago as well at a Bulls game. Yeah.
I'm like, this is strangely dope.
It's cool. They got some, especially halftime too. They got some really cool performances, whether that be dunking basketballs from like the extreme team or whatever. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, dude, and I'm just like, wow. And so the game was over. The Heat won, and we're going back home. Well, back to the hotel, and I'm just like, I'm fried. I really just went to a pro basketball game. I really just went to a pro game, period.
There you go.
And I remember hitting up all my buddies, including you, like, the streak is over. Yeah. One of the streaks is over. One of the streaks is over.
Yeah, I remember that. Sent the picture too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. That Miami trip, it was boring for the most part, but that game was the trip's saving grace, because dude, if it weren't for that, and dude, we forget about this pretty often, but that was literally 2 months before this whole pandemic started.
Yeah, like you lucked out. You lucked out.
Dude, there were so many things that I got bailed out on. First of all, I dropped arguably the greatest song that I ever made, right, like the Wednesday of the final week of school.
Link in the bio.
Wednesday.
Link in the bio. Link in the description. Link in the description.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? I talk about it a lot with the dude that I did the feature with all the time. I'm like, dude, we literally got this song off before the pandemic started. And then I always mention that and the fact that I went to a freaking Miami Heat game before the pandemic started, before Florida was a COVID hotspot, before Florida was literally the most, I won't say oblivious, but kind of like the most oblivious. Yeah, oblivious
Yeah,
to the
I
pandemic at
remember
times.
like a few weeks after the beach is full, whatever. But you lucked out because I was supposed to go to a Pistons game, a Red Wings game, Tigers opening day, a soccer game, all for my birthday, and then COVID happened, and I didn't go to any of them.
It was literally a week and a half after. That is so tough. Oh, geez, yeah, man. But who knows? If I mean, imagine what it would be like if I did not get that opportunity before the pandemic to go to a game.
Yeah, what if the pandemic never happened? The show would have never happened.
Hey, this is a lot. It's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot of pros and cons. And obviously, the pro along with this show is the ability to say that before I got to college, I went to a professional sports event.
There you go.
Finally. Now, there are still other streaks left to be broken. I still have to go to a basketball game. I still have to go. I still have to go to a baseball game. I still have to go to a football game. Still have to go to a hockey game.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's my first NBA game.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that story.
Yeah, dude. And speaking of stories, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to burn out a little bit with how many stories I have left in the tank. It might take a little bit of, it takes a little bit of time to, recollect and recall stories, with certain things that happen in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So what we're gonna do here at Top of Stags, we're gonna spread these stories out, maybe one or two a month. That's probably good. I mean, it's kind of tough doing them every single week. You gotta go back to the memory books, and then we're eventually gonna run out. So spreading them out, maybe one, two, maybe if we get a cool one, then we'll probably tell it immediately. But if not, probably one or two a month.
Yeah, because look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know about you, but I have been digging to the deepest of my archives. Like a 2011 spelling bee.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I could tell after that Cubs hat story. I was like, no way, this dude is telling a story about a hat.
Oh my goodness! I mean, it's like you had a reason to tell the story about your baseball cap collection because it's a baseball cap collection. But the story of a baseball cap and how I pulled a girl with it and how it was so infamous, hilariously infamous within my identity. I think that was the moment where I just burnt out.
I was like, yeah, we gotta spread these out a little bit now.
Oh yeah, dude. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this story time special, give us that like, comment, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there. Give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever you're using to listen to Top of the Standings and the Story Time special. Give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, the Big Three. And then check out our new website at topofthestandings.com. And we will see you guys next week for episode 33. Peace.